This is week 4. This week we are going to talk about previews and leading into a game, the use of technology, what you can kind of do around that. We are going to look at, again through Coach Logic, we're going to look at how you can present flips and what you want to do, opportunities or threats. We'll look at some brief overview documents that can be created. Can't show you all the stuff that has been done, but I will give you a brief synopsis and a couple of examples, and then again using like clip draw, which we discussed last week, we can show you how you actually utilize and maximize those preview clips. So just to start, I mean the simplest one to start with would be just a simple PowerPoint slide, or you can do it on an Excel sheet if you want. But something along the lines of imagine the pitch mapped out and say, hey, on the left hand halfway line we would like to run this strike move or starter play from set piece. Our defense looks like this in this part of the field. And just like a one-page overview document which details out what we're trying to achieve in each area of the field. That's just the simplest version of it. That's gets everyone on the same page, and it's very easy to do. I'm going to show you some examples now of how that can progress and how that can look different. So we'll get into that now. So what we have here is just a simple player matchday targets. It's against an opposition. You have where we are, it's on a grass field, and then the weather. I'd always like to include the weather and the temperature just so we have a better understanding of what to expect. And then the targets to attack. We have this player here, he's a number 10. He's not a great defender, so we have 3 strike moves or starter plays that we wanted to use during this game to attack that opportunity. Then we have the players to watch. This was number 8. He was very good off the back of the scrum, so you need to put him down low. This was a hooker. But that's just the individual. For the team stuff, I like to call it like just like the danger zone, things to be alert about. So they have their set piece, how we want our backs to defend inside their half, and then with the 4-man front, because they played an attacking game. Talk about a scramble. We had a big emphasis that week on our scramble defense and really fanning out on line breaks. And then some calls that they had. This was they had a weaker scrum, so they would try to cheat at the scrum a lot. But again, if you pick up a call here or there, you can always put it in. It might not be heard, it might not be used. So if it is heard, or they do try to use it, then hopefully it will resonate with some of the players that you have talked about it before. And again, this is just an opposition preview document. It's very simple, it's easy to understand, but through the use of technology we're able to do much more things, which we will look at now. So the thing with analysis and preview documents and all the work that we've done leading up to this is you can overload the athletes. So it's about finding the most accurate bits of information and utilizing and taking advantage of those. There are an unlimited amount of things that we can preview and plan and prep for, but whether they actually happen and recur, we don't know. So the way I like to break it up is to do the overall team document, then to have a line-out document for the line-out leaders, a strikes or starter plays for the defense or the backs, and then any other key points which will go to the player leadership group. So we're not actually overloading whole group as a team. However, those that need to know the information are getting it. And we will come back and we're just going to look at some of the preview documents with videos, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is a PDF document. It has been exported from Google Slides. The reason I use PDFs is they are easy to send out into WhatsApp groups or Coach Logic groups. The videos stay hot linked once they are uploaded to Google Drive, so they are actually embedded into the document. So here, this is our snap is what we would call when we go from one side to the middle and then we come back to where we just come from. Our focus was really hard work on stretching the opposition, and then you click the video and it will play here. So you see, you come across. This is videos I picked up from other teams that are playing this. We're focusing on the red and black team. Through the clip draw, you just throw a simple arrow in there just to identify the space. Again, you see the player drifts across, and they leave this space open. That's a huge opportunity, which is worth us attacking. Again, we'll just run through some quite similar clips, or similar trends that they will bounce and fold. So here's another one against an opposition. And again, we're just reiterating the space in the blind side. I think in this clip here, the orange team hits midfield and they do snap back towards the middle. Yeah, they come around the corner. Now there's a poor execution on their behalf, but showing that the opportunities here. This is an opportunity which has been taken by the blue and white team, who were the European representative. So they come down the blind side and then they create a big line break and they get fastball. So here it is combined with the use of our drone. This is the drone running through our positional play. We're creating this strike play, which was to hit midfield and then to snap back with the players like this. And again, you see how the drone works. Now we don't execute it there, and there's the same principle on a wider angle where we actually get the ball away.
Here's a quick clip that will help.
It's called the bend and snap. Watch. I think I dropped something on the floor that I need to pick up. So you bend and snap and snap and snap.
So that's just a simple way where you show the opportunities that you found through video analysis of the opposition. You combine that with just some simple arrows or even pointers. If you don't have the software, what you can simply do is you can talk over it, or you could, if you're looking at our screen, you can point to it to show the players that way, and then reiterated and rolled that back into what we were doing in training. So again, there's a kick attack opportunity. So I wanted to show this one because sometimes when you're doing the analysis and you're doing the research and you're looking at the opposition, you see something which goes quite against the grain of how you would naturally play. So this is their reaction on a 6 exit line-out ball. And it was just something I noticed from based off of this clip I was doing it up. It was like the defenders seemed to drift across. So when I was looking at them against the opposite teams, I noticed that as the maul went in field, the forwards tended to bunch up around it, and then they would leave the number 9 isolated. And again, this is just some other opponents playing against them. This is a maul we had where we got a decent driving maul, but not quite at the angle or at the pitch location we'd like. So we put in this play whereby we would set up a fake 6-man exit maul where our wing and fullback would come around and we'd try to attack. And this video is good because it shows the difference in the GoPro video and also the static camera setup video. So this is the static camera right now. So you can see here just the difference. So how we were trying to, and this was a purposely, it was a set play brought in, which then also tied into this wing here. So when the wing got involved, it opened up what I felt was 70 meters of the backfield for a kicking option if we needed it. So you just how you can see something, and then when you look at other options, it may expand and go on from that. So that was just an example there. And again, we'll scroll back through score opportunities, and then I always like to have a strikes page, you know, so what kind of strikes we're looking to run in that game, or starter plays for the backs, and then a foul option with some kicking options that we had. And then so just finish with the keys to victories, just simple things: attack mindset, pressure defense, and then discipline in German. So that's just a simple overview document for the team. So I wanted to just show an example of lineouts. And again, you can have unlimited data, like detail about this, and then you can break it down into, if you have a series of footage about the opposition, you can group together all of their lineouts every 10 meters up the field, left and right, and you can talk about the different options. But what I like to do is, it's again another Google Sheets PDF which can be sent to the lineout group. So this is a very simple one. It's a rudimentary team we're playing, and they're split into attack and defense. So these are their attacking lineouts, and this is how they defend in these lineouts. And again, I grouped from 5-meter attack to exit lineouts to 5-man and 6-man. You using the video editing software, put the video together of a couple of their 5-man options, upload it to Google Drive. The videos are embedded in the file. When the lineout leaders, both attacker or defense, are doing some research, they just click on the video, it pops up, and here's a minute and a half of their 5-man options. I mean, this team's not very good, so, but they get to read the different options, they get to see it versus different teams, and then we can come up with a defensive strategy in relation to that. So that was just an example of a lineout preview document. I mean, you are able to do it for a team's kicking play. You can also look at their strike moves, and will help your backs out. For the high performance statistical analysis, I'm not able to show you that. But for instance, what you can do is you can break down to the area locations of where they throw the lineouts. Is it the front, the middle, the back? The top quality ball percentages? Is it off the top? Is it taken to ground? Is it a maul? You can look at the difference in left and right, because some teams play differently based on their field location. You can look at the exit zones, and also through the ruck locations or plotting points. Imagine a heat map based around where their kicking is. So most teams in Super Rugby will have the same exit kick locations. And you can do a statistical plus minus value off of that, and you can just build a complete picture of what the teams are like from the set piece, generally where they are going to kick from, where they're going to play from. For instance, I watched the Reds play the Rebels in the Super Rugby AU on the weekend. The team had an exit play lined up. The commentators were talking about that the opposition had 4 in the defensive line. And they assumed that they'd done their homework. So what happened is there was a carry to midfield, there was a carry outside 22, and the defence knew exactly what was going to happen there. They knew they weren't going to kick from first phase. They knew they were going to carry. They were going to take the ball up. They would look to set a platform and move it into the areas of the field where they feel like they are better attacking from. So I think they wanted two chasers on the inside, 3 on the outside when they do the box kick, and that's something that if you watch any of the MLR, I think that this kind of statistical analysis hasn't quite reached the MLR yet. So you'll see the teams are quite varied in their kick locations and their exit locations. I wanted to just take a moment. So I know we've talked about a lot of preview documents and stuff. I wanted to talk about what you can do in the use of, and again, I'm using Coach Logic here, the use of technology during the week. So we talked about the bend and snap with Legally Blonde as the trigger. But this is us. This is the team just running through the lines and options. So this is Coach Logic, and it just runs through that. So I wanted to pause it and just show you how that process from start to finish would work. So let's say we get here, we're going to create a clip. So it's recording. And right now we'll just say we'll pause the clip. You can make a note. We like running north-south inside option. You can create an event if you want to. So this is some of the other stuff. So we'll just say it's wide attack, and we will go send clip. So here's the thing. So now you get this option where you're able to send the clip to someone. So I will go at Gordon. So I will now send that to me, and you're able to send this to your players. And again, it helps during the week. So we'll go send and confirm. So then we'll just save that analysis. We will go back to the team room. So yeah, we make it back to the team room, and there it is at the front of the page. There is the, oh, sorry, we will cut the sound. So there's that 6-second clip. And then from that, obviously, I didn't put the arrows and stuff in it. Yeah, so the great thing about Coach Logic is the mobile compatibility. So when you download the app, you get the push notifications when you are tagged in instances like that. So be it as an individual clip, or let's say you're part of the Scrum group, Scrum leadership group, you'll get a message for that if you're tagged. So the exact same clip that we just watched has appeared there on my phone. It's as simple as just hit the play button, you're able to see the clip, you're able to see the coach's comments. I'm then able to comment on it as well. I can comment directly back to the person who cut the clip, or we can comment to the team, or to groups in particular. And I find it's very good for that if you are going to have group chats and to be able to get group engagement whilst being away from the field. So most people are on their cell phones quite a lot these days, and with the push notifications, with the group chat features, we are keeping our athletes involved at a much higher rate than if we just see them. Let's say, for instance, you only train one day a week, or you do Tuesdays or Thursdays. So we're able to get engagement and involvement almost 7 days a week if needed and required and wanted. You know, so sometimes they can get tired of getting the messages at 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, so that was just a quick example of Coach Logic and what you can do during the week. We talked about the preview documents, how to, using just a little bit of video here and there, what you're able to do with it. I touched on some of the statistical analysis that is possible and that teams are doing out there at the moment. So if there is anything else that you'd like me to discuss, I know the next session is actually not going to be a pre-recorded video. We're going to go live. It's going to be a Zoom call next week, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if you do have any questions, or you would like me to touch on anything in the Zoom call, just you can write a comment here or on YouTube, or if you do know me, just send me a private message. That's fine. And then I will drop a list of things for next week's call, and then we can have a group chat together about what you guys want to talk about. You can also go more in depth about certain topics from the previous videos or this video. If you want me to expand on certain things, like I have got some messages about what size of SD card to use, how involved or how best to get your players involved in the analysis part of it. I know I haven't really touched on that in much detail, but we can talk about that next week if you'd like. And again, as I said, if there's anything else you want, just put it in the comments, and then we will go from there.